Well, good evening. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Some of you know me, and those that don't, my name is Nada St. Germain. And I have to say that this topic is one of my favorites, because when I was introduced to Neolife over 30 years ago, I struggled with a very weak immune system. I was working as a police officer in Toronto, and after working shift work, all of the symptoms that I had as a teenager and in my 20s, they got worse. And I know a lot of it had to do with, not sleeping properly and shift work, but I have to say that all of my symptoms of allergies and the colds that I used to get, they started to linger longer. And I really struggled. And it got to a point where I was using antihistamines year round. And every time a commercial would come on and a new commercial would come on for a new antihistamine, I was at the drugstore buying that antihistamine. So I knew that there was something wrong, but I didn't know exactly what to do. I was eating healthy, I was exercising. And when I was introduced to the Neolife products by a neighbor and a friend, and I decided to try them, I was so grateful. It's been 30 years. I don't have any allergy symptoms. I stopped using antihistamines. It took about 6 months. And then after about a year, I was able to walk into a house and be with cats. Whereas before I would walk in and my chest would close, I'd stop breathing. I couldn't even visit some of my friends that had cats in their home. I couldn't have any sleepovers. And now I can sleep with cats. So I'm so grateful that my immune system's strong. And I'm going to share with you just some of the things. And I'm so grateful to have Maryellen Vandenbrink, our holistic nutritionist, join us tonight. And you're going to hear some amazing testimonials from people as well that are going to be joining us this evening, just sharing how just making some changes to their diet, adding some good whole food supplements can really impact their life and your life. And I just want you to understand that, taking the Neolife supplements will not cure a condition, but it's amazing how when you supply the body with the proper nutrients, how your cells start to get healthy and you can just strengthen your immune system. And there's so many health challenges out there that are related to just a weakened and poor immune system. So we're going to talk about some of these challenges. And when you're looking at your immune system, it really is your first line of defense against everything, okay? So we have 3 pillars of immunity. So prevention, which is so important, recovery, and healing. Okay, so those are 3 areas that we're going to cover. And when you're looking at key nutrients, these are the areas that we're going to be covering this evening, whether it be from food or from supplementation to help to fill the nutritional gaps. So phytonutrients are what are found in your fruits and vegetables, what make them the dark colors, the reds, the blues, the purples, right, that we should be eating a lot of, okay? The lipids and sterols are good fats that are found in grain. And we're going to be talking about these critical nutrients. They're essential fatty acids. Omega-3 is another type of fat, a good quality fat from fish oil. And then there's probiotics, which is your good bacteria, vitamins and minerals, and antioxidants. So all of these nutrients are key, okay, to keeping your immune system strong. Now, I have to share with you that this was a recent study that was published after 190 countries. What they found, it was a global study, that there was things that we weren't eating that were actually killing us, okay? So, and these nutrients all play a really big role in supporting our immune system. Again, the nutrients that they found that were lacking in all of their diets were low grains, low fruit, nuts and seeds, low omega-3, and low vegetables. So here we are again, looking at all these amazing foods that we're just not eating enough of. But the grains is the part that I want to talk a little bit about, because this is the part that drew me to Neolife, because I really thought that I was getting all of the nutrients from eating whole grains, fruits and vegetables. And years ago, they used to grind your wheat, right? Make your flour, make your bread, not understanding that they started milling and processing our grains, and certain things are being removed, like those lipids and sterols that we talked about earlier, to make so that our foods have a longer shelf life. So our breads today last weeks, whereas back 70 years ago, they would last a day or two. So the refining industry started, because they wanted mass production, longer shelf life to create more money. So when the milling industry started, they removed the fiber, the outer layer of the grain, the precious germs, and 22 important nutrients. So what's left? You're left with starch, white flour, and gluten. Okay. And so when you're looking at this, and so many people today have sensitivities to wheat and gluten, or they can't tolerate wheat. And it's unfortunate. It's just what man has done to wheat. So this is one of the reasons why I know I had a weak immune system, why I had adrenal gland exhaustion, why I had really bad PMS, because these nutrients were missing in my diet. And now we're third and fourth generation, okay, of kids not having these essential fatty acids. So we do need to supplement. And Maryellen, I'm just going to have our holistic nutritionist jump on board now and just share, some of the other reasons why we do need to supplement. Maryellen.
Yeah, thank you, Nada. And it's so true. There's so many challenges that we face today, like especially our soils. They're demineralized and they just put fertilizers that have one or two or nutrients in them, and we're missing all the essential nutrients that were in our soil for many, many years. And of course, food processing. So many things in boxes and packages and crackers and breads, they're processed, and so they remove a lot of the critical nutrients. And then when you think about it, when we buy food and it travels across the country, like a lot of people shop all in like for the whole week, and it sits in our fridge for a whole week, and we lose all sorts of vitamins and minerals. So there's lots of challenges that we have now. And one of the big challenges is, especially in North America, which is banned in Europe, is our foods are genetically modified, which is also called GMOs. And what that means is they cross the genes of a plant with the genes of another organism, either from plants or animals. For instance, a soybean has a mouse gene, a bacteria, a virus. Well, that's not natural. That's not the way a real soybean is. And GMO seeds are used with the promise of yielding more crops and in larger size, being more resistant to frost and bruises, for example, to make their color size more appealing. So it's all about marketing, right? So the shelf life is longer. They don't rot as fast. They're resistant to chemicals, pesticides, herbicides. But every year with them doing this, the pests become more resistant and they have to use more and more pesticide, especially Roundup, that's on our genetically modified fruits and vegetables. And this is all in the name of profit, absolutely not in the name of health. So when you look at supplements, who can you trust, right? Just because it's in a store, a lot of people think, oh, it's in GNC, it's safe, but there's been lots of issues with products in these companies, because you think about it here. Look at they were accused of selling adulterated herbals. They found amphetamines in 11 dietary supplements, drugs by dietary supplements, and there's even been shows like The Fifth Estate which have highlighted. And I know even the University of Guelph went into health food stores and drugstores and tested products. Not a product met the label claim that was on there. So who do we trust? Again, just because it's in a store, as you can see from this study that was fairly recent, 2007 to 2016, there were 776 products marketed as dietary supplements that contain hidden active ingredients that were unsafe or unstudied. So you really have to trust who you deal with, right? And understand there's a specific criteria that a supplement must have. And I know myself, when I was introduced to Neolife back 28 years ago, I was so impressed by the person who introduced me, because when she told me it had been around since 1958 and they've never had a dietary recall. They have a pharmaceutical license for manufacturing, and they're established in over 50 countries, and they meet or exceed all the health standards in those countries. So they are definitely based in nature and backed by science, which is very, very unique. So when you look at a supplement, what do you look for? Well, you want to know what it's made from. Just because it says natural, can be anything from the ground: algae, pine bark, fungus, coal tar. But what are we missing in our diets? As Nada mentioned in that Lancet study, we're lacking the whole grains, fruits and vegetables, and wild salmon. And that's what Neolife uses to make their products, to fill those gaps of what we're lacking, which is causing so much disease. And again, they're non-GMO, and all the products are gluten-free, which is very important. And the reason that they have this high quality control Because I know one thing that impressed me is you can be 100% sure what's on the labels in the bottle and nothing else. Is because of the science behind the products. They have a scientific advisory board, which was set up by Dr. Arthur First, one of the top toxicologists in the world. In fact, he's the co-founder of oral chemotherapy. And when he was doing his research in cancer, he found nutrients in food prevent disease. So that's why he joined up with Neolife. And he set up our world-renowned scientists and researchers who are involved in the research and development of the products, not just a good-looking doctor who endorses them.
Absolutely, Maryellen, I'm just going to do a little plug because we're going to hear from 3 of these scientists live on January the 29th for those of you that are registered for Rally. So this is going to be awesome.
And it's very important that the products have been independently tested and published in peer-reviewed journals. And as you can see, Neolife products are published in the most prestigious journals because you need good evidence-based science to prove that the products actually work. Not just saying, yeah, it contains tomatoes and tomatoes help with whatever. You have to make sure the product actually does what it says it's going to do. And Nada, do you want to share with us quickly how we can fill that gap with our Pro Vitality, which is the foundation?
Yes, and I'm going to focus on just 4 of these key nutrients that are in this Pro Vitality pack. And I really appreciate the company putting these convenient little packs together because it kind of really helps with that Lancet study because it has all those nutrients that they're saying we're not getting enough of in our diet every single day. So the first product I want to share with you is that little greenie there, that the first pill in that pack, and it contains the oil from grain, Tran grain concentrate. And it's really difficult, remember, to get these grain oils. And you know what, you need to eat a lot of grains and seeds and nuts to get these essential lipids back into your diet. So one of these that's in this Vitality pack called Tran, just one, okay, is only 8.3 calories, where if you were to consume all those grains, it'd be a lot of extra calories every single day. So one Tran that's in that Vitality pack just really helps to fill those nutritional gaps when it comes to grains. And before Tran, I mean, Tran was developed back in 1958. And way back then, I mean, you know, our foods were natural, they were real. You know, they preserved with natural fermentation, not chemicals. You know, people and animals ate real food. They were grown locally, ripened naturally, harvested close to the time of eating, unprocessed. Grains were stored in its whole form until they were needed, okay, and ground right before eating. So these lipids and phytosterols, again, very difficult to get. So you're getting one of these in that Vitality pack, and they play a really big role in cell function. Every cell in your body is surrounded by that lipid layer, and it keeps that cell membrane soft so nutrients can go in and waste can go out. And because you don't have these granules in your diet, your cell looks like the cell on the left. So this is why a lot of people are just really tired and sluggish, and they don't have energy at the end of the day. So good nutrition begins at the cellular level, and Tran enhances energy, membrane function, and boy, let me tell you, hormones completely under control. So this really made a huge difference in my life. And when you're looking at other issues when it comes to aging and disease, inflammation and oxidation also play a really, really big role, especially when it comes to your immune system. And we need to be eating how many servings of fruits and vegetables every single day? It's hard. 10 to 13 servings is the higher level that we should be consuming. And again, focusing on your dark colors, it's really, really hard to do. And what makes these fruits and vegetables powerful are the carotenoids, the dark reds and the deep oranges, the deep colors, and it helps with immune system, powerful antioxidants. And one of these carotenoids that's in this Vitality pack in a month is equivalent to consuming 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables in every box. This is one of the products that really helped me with my allergies and getting my immune system strong. And it was proven, like Maryellen talked about some of those studies, to boost your immune system 37% in just 20 days. Okay, very difficult to do with just your diet alone. So let's talk about now protein from meat. I mean, we eat way too much meat. It is acidic. It causes inflammation in the body. It does help to, disrupt the hormone system. And I'm not saying I don't eat meat and never eat meat. again, in moderation, right? It does cause havoc in the body if you're eating too much. But protein is, you do need protein, and we're be talking a little bit about that later. But protein from fish is definitely a better source. It does help with good cholesterol. It helps with, for heart disease risk. The problem is 80% of adults eat less than 2 servings of fish per week. And the problem too, though, is our fish is loaded with toxins. Okay, and the omega-3s are delicate. So we need to be eating fish, but the challenge is our fish is not clean. And the omega-3 fish oil from Neolife really made a difference in my health when it came to joint pain, my mom with her fibromyalgia, with her autoimmune disease, because again, inflammation, right, can also cause issues in the body and even suppresses the immune system, especially when you're looking at asthma and allergies. Okay, so reducing inflammation is key. So the omega-3 from Neolife, our salmon oil plus, is screened for over 200 potential contaminants with an allowance of 0. Okay, so it's safe for mom, for baby, for kids, for pregnant moms. I mean, I cannot stress the importance of a good quality fish oil. And it was clinically proven to help with triglycerides, reduces the inflammatory index 68% in just 8 weeks. Okay, powerful product for joint pain, and again, plays a huge role in supporting the immune system. So the last little capsule that's in this Pro Vitality is a multivitamin. So we call it the Cadillac of multis, because you're not just getting a multivitamin. You're getting your grain oil, your lipids and sterols, your carotenoids, your fish, your omega-3, and your multivitamin, all in this convenient pack. Okay, but when you add the protein drink, this really plays a big role with the immune function. And I'm going to have Maryellen join us again and just share the importance of a good quality protein in your diet as well.
Yeah, a lot of people think protein's just for muscles, right? But it plays a huge role in the immune system, especially for production of T cells, which is your first defense against all sorts of viruses, bacteria, cancer. So when you look at the Neolife shake, one thing that really impressed me is what's not in it. There isn't anything artificial, no high fructose corn syrup, preservatives, gluten. It's 90% lactose free, and they use GMO-free ingredients, because when I look at a lot of the other products, when people show me, they're full of artificial sweeteners and additives, but what is inside is all natural. And it's very important for a protein to be biologically complete, because you need all 22 amino acids for different parts of the body. And also you should check what the protein quality score is of the product. It should be at least 1.0 or better. The Neolife is 1.73, so it's very, very high. And there's 18 grams of protein per serving, as a branched chain amino acids, 5 grams of fiber, controlled glycemic response, so it keeps his blood sugar in the zone. And again, it makes those T cells, which are the cancer fighters, which are so important in our immune system, and 25 essential vitamins and minerals. So it's packed with nutrition. And for children, I know my grandkids have drank that Neolife shake since they could drink out of a sippy cup. And it's very important to keep their immune system strong too. So the Vita Squares contains those lipids and phytosterols. If you just get those gummies, which rot your kids' teeth, it does not contain those lipids and phytosterols. It's not a complete product. The VitaGuard is all the fruits and vegetables, because sometimes kids can be a little picky. They don't always want to eat Brussels sprouts and broccoli and stuff like that. So that gives them the fruit and vegetables. When they're little babies, when they can't chew, they do the Liquivite. And that's what my grandkids started off when they're newborn, because it does contain the vitamin D as well, especially if the mom's nursing. So first, the core nutrition is the Pro Vitality in the shake. And we're focusing tonight on immunity, but this is good for all sorts of different programs too. So actually at this time, I'd like to ask my handsome husband, Henry, to share his story, because he actually had a health challenge that he didn't think was a health challenge, but I'll let him share his story. Can you unmute, Henry?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Thank you, Maryellen. Yeah, so some 27 years ago, before we got introduced, or I got introduced to Neolife, the previous 3 years, I had gotten pneumonia every January. And I just thought it was just my body that's just whatever I'm picking up, I'm getting pneumonia. And I didn't think there was anything else I could do about it. I just thought it was me. So Maryellen had convinced me a period before the next January to start taking the Neolife vitamins. And so I did. January came along and it came and went and nothing happened. Maryellen mentioned, said, hey, you didn't get pneumonia. And I turned around and I says, yeah, it's just coincidence. Don't worry about it. And then kept on taking the vitamins. And then the following January came along, and I'm not the smartest person in the world. She mentioned it again. And of course, I didn't get it. I said, it's just coincidence. And then the third year, well, you can only get hit so many times over the head. So I kept taking the products. I have never had pneumonia since. And the only thing I changed in my lifestyle in those 3 years and ever since is taking the Neolife vitamins and minerals.
Thank you, Henry. Yeah, it's true. It did take a little bit of convincing, but I know you're glad that you tried it out. And so with targeted solutions in your immune system, your first line of defense is your autoimmune disease. Oh, what we're going to talk about in immune system is your first line of defense, autoimmune diseases, protection from flus and colds, and defense against cancer and allergies and asthma. Okay, so this is what we should have in our fridge every single day in our cupboards, because this is what our body needs and loves. But especially like our university kids, or if people are on the run, their fridge looks more like this, right? It has a lot more processed foods, juices, handy stuff, so we definitely are lacking in our food choices for sure, which we could make better choices. So as Nada said, we have to eat lots of those dark color fruits and vegetables, and people really don't eat it, especially for cancer prevention, immune function, slow aging, and prevent disease. And if you do have a suppressed immune system, you need even more fruits and vegetables. So a great way to fill this gap is our PHYTO Defense Pack. And what this is, it's a convenient pack where they put 3 of those carotenoids, which Nada talked about. That's the one that was studied by the USDA and proven to boost immunity 37%. 2 flavonoids, those are those polyphenols you're hearing a lot about. They work in the watery part of the cell, massive immune system boosters, anti-inflammatory. And then the last one is the cruciferous. And that's all those smelly vegetables like, broccoli and bok choy that we should be eating at minimum 1 serving of those every single day. And they were tested and proved under United States National Cancer Institute protocols to protect and defend cells and tissues. Very, very powerful product. So again, if you know you're not getting enough of those fruits and vegetables and you want to fill that gap, that is a great way to do it. 6 servings of 25 different fruits and vegetables in every single little package. And if you had to buy all of that, you think for number one, it would be hard to keep it. You'd be throwing it out at the end of the week. It's very, very expensive. So this is actually, I think, a very economical way to get those fruits and vegetables. And maybe we'll get Joan. Would you like to share your story? Because I know you suffer from allergies and for many, many years.
Sure.
And cancer.
Well, when I was introduced in 1995, I had just finished treatments for breast cancer, and I was just looking for something to boost my energy level and my immune system. I also had severe allergies at that time. In spring and fall, I'd get itchy eyes and runny nose. I never thought I'd be able to get rid of it. I just took antihistamines. And so I was just focusing on my energy level. And also the company had Resp11 or Resp-X at the time, which helped with my symptoms. So I took that. But by working on my immune system for my cancer and detoxing my body from the chemotherapy, I noticed that my symptoms were getting less. And after a while, I noticed I didn't have any symptoms anymore, right? And it's because I had a strengthened immune system and I had detoxed my body. So having a great immune system it helps a lot of other things other than the cancer, right? So yeah, so that's my testimony.
And I'd like to say, Joan, and I know Maryellen will agree with us, is you're aging gracefully because you haven't aged since I think we've known you over the last 26 years. So I mean, and that's what antioxidants do. They protect you from oxidizing, and we like to say from rusting from the inside out, right? So if you want to slow aging, eat lots of fruits and vegetables and supplement with good quality supplements. And you're definitely an example of that. So thank you so much, Joan, for sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you, Joan. I know myself, I had allergies too, and my whole family had allergies, and you just think, it's in the family, it's genetic. You don't realize it's linked because we don't have a strong immune system. And what these carotenoids do, they take up residence in our cell membranes. So again, as Nada mentioned, it's kind of like when you get an apple and cut it in half, it turns brown, the cells oxidize. Well, lemon juice protects it. That's how carotenoids protect our cells. And it's just made from tomatoes, carrots, spinach, red bell peppers, strawberries, apricots, and peaches. And there's 15, I'm not going to name all the names, powerful carotenoid family members. So not just beta carotene, which you normally get in a lot of products. And in fact, research shows by taking just one, you actually suppress the immune system. And that's why they get the negative studies. You need the whole families of it, just like in fruits and vegetables. There we go. Sometimes the slides stick, right? And there's a study that showed 37% increase or boost immune system 37%, and it also increased cancer killer cells by 20%. And this was research done in 20 days by the USDA, independently tested and published in the American College, Clinical, what is it? American Clinical.
American College of Nutrition?
No, New York, no, I forgot now. Anyways. And there's our flavonoids, which is green tea, cranberries, kale, beets, elderberries, grapes, oranges, lemons, and grapefruit. All those vibrant fruits and vegetables, and they work in the watery part of the cells. And they also protect body fluids like blood from oxidation, improves immunity, reduce risk of cancer, heart disease, and other age-related diseases. And it's cruciferous is derived from those smelly vegetables I talked about: broccoli, radishes, kale, black mustard, brown mustard, watercress, oranges, licorice, and soybeans. So there's a lot of different foods in there. And so again, the phyto defense is 3 carotenoids, 2 flavonoids, and 1 cruciferous. 6 servings of 25 different fruits and vegetables. Powerhouse. And Ada, would you like to share with us how we have this wonderful tray, Essence of Nutrition, that is also powerful for the antioxidants?
I would love to share some with you because I have some right here. And I wish I could share it with you through the screen. It is one of my favorites as well. And this is what really helped me with my immune system. I find for my kids too. I just find that, especially when these berries, blueberries, and when they're not in season, they just don't taste good, and the nutrients are just not there. So 1 ounce of this amazing product called Tray is equivalent to consuming 6 cups of spinach. And it's made from acai berry, green tea, pomegranate. It has your blueberry, blackcurrant, elderberry, red grape, bilberry, white grape, cranberry. And I have to say, I'm not going to call on my sister, but she is on the call tonight. And I've been spending a lot of time with her this winter, and her son, Dwayne, oh my gosh, when she shared his story with me, she said, this is something that keeps him from getting colds, flus. She can tell if he's going to get a little bit of a sniffle or he starts complaining, she gives him an extra shot of Tray. He goes off and she goes, Nada, it's the only thing that's protecting Dwayne, and because he's a really picky eater. So this really, really helps. So it's such an amazing product for strengthening the immune system. Powerful antioxidants, 20 times the puna collagen of fresh pomegranate juice, 5 to 10 times the resveratrol of red wine. So, I'm not saying you have to drink or not to drink red wine, but you don't want to be drinking too much alcohol, right? So, it's 7 times the antioxidant power of red tomatoes. So it is a powerful antioxidant, potent antioxidant. And it's really, it tastes fantastic. It's very tart. Some people like to mix it in like a Perrier. I mix it with the aloe vera juice, and it's just so, so good. But I am going to talk a little bit about the Beta Guard, because I know this is a product that Joan was taking that was developed by Dr. Arthur First for detoxification, and it pulls toxins out of the body. And this is why this really helped me with my allergies as well, because when you start removing toxins from the body can also build a stronger immune system as well. And scientists estimate that 80% of cancers are a result of environmental toxins, okay, pollution, and it can cause havoc on all the organs in your body as well. And it's part of our cleanse that Marylyn's going to talk a little bit about later too. So again, if you're exposed to a lot of toxins in the environment or after chemotherapy, this is a great antioxidant that you can take to help strengthen your immune system as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit, Maryellen, I know, we talk about supplements and we talk about, food, but there's also other things that we can do to help our body and our mind as well.
Yep, absolutely. And I'd just like to, before we start, Christina, would you like to share? Because I know when the tray was something that made a big difference with what you're dealing with right now. Can you unmute, Christina?
I would love to share. I don't know how many people know, but back in September, I guided through Susan Faulkner and Maryellen, a friend, to Neolife because he suffered severe concussion effects. And he said to me, well, why don't you get back on them too? Because I used to take them about 12 years ago. And he was a catalyst because December 3rd, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And from September to December, I'd been taking the protein shake and the tray and the aloe vera. And then I got on PHYTO defense after the diagnosis. And the surgeon saw my protein shake. And 4 days after my surgery, I was climbing stairs at the hospital. So I am so thankful that Neolife has come into my life, because I'm just awaiting now whether I'll have chemo and radiation, and I'm taking the products again right now as I recover. So thank you to all of you in Neolife.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Christina. And it's true, sometimes when we have these challenges, the products do help us recover faster, which is what we want to do, right? So for some suggestions on lifestyle, things that help us are exercise, of course, and some people like meditation. It's not for everyone, but if that's something that calms you, or yoga, positive thinking and journaling, or prayer, if if that's something that you believe in. Watching feel-good movies. I know one of the best things for your immune system is laughter. And people don't realize how much you can boost just from watching a really funny movie. Forgiveness, not holding grudges, forgive people. And, just sometimes we have to write it down, burn it, and just release it, because, sometimes we're in these situations where things are not going to go the way we want. And if you need forgiveness, talk to the person, say you're sorry. If they can't forgive you, that's okay. You did your part. And, just ask them for forgiveness. And enjoying nature and getting away for periods of time without electronics. Like, I know even today we went for a nice walk in Guelph at a conservation area, and just getting outside and walking, it lifts your spirit and makes you feel better. And we do the best we can when it's freezing cold in the wintertime here. And eating lots of fruits and vegetables, which we've talked about. Drink only filtered water, and be careful of plastics. Avoid processed sugar. It feeds cancer. For instance, a Coke has 10 to 12 teaspoons of sugar in it, and it can reduce your immune system drastically for hours after drinking sugar or eating sugar. Dairy, some say not at all, but at least use organic, so be careful with it. Meat should be grass-fed, organic, or hormone-free. Plant proteins that are good are seeds, nuts, hemp seeds, chia, beans from the dry state, fruits and vegetables. And avoid alcohol or have in moderation, because alcohol can cause cancer. And then we want to talk about our healthy gut, which is, a lot of people don't realize that 80% of our immunity is from our gut. And if your gut is not functioning right, it opens you up for all sorts of issues. So a good way to get your gut back in track is with our 3-day healthy body detox. It cleanses, balances, energize. And what I like about it, it's only 2 days. Anybody can do a detox, or 3 days. Anybody can do a detox for 3 days. So the first 2 days, you just eat fruits and vegetables. You take the Neolax, garlic, and Beta Guard, which we talked about from Dr. First, and that cleanses everything out of the body. And then the third day, we start rebuilding. That's when we introduce the Neolife shake again and the Acidophilus to put the good bacteria in. And I kind of think of it as a gut reset. It kind of gets our gut functioning properly again. And there's the thing. So you only eat fruits and vegetables for 2 days. So really it's only a 2-day detox. Third day, add the protein shake for breakfast, fruits and veggies all day, and a lean protein at dinner. So it's a super easy cleanse to do. Some tips: make sure you grocery shop and have everything you need before you start the cleanse, because you don't want to not have stuff in the house because you're going to grab the wrong things. And take a few minutes and prep everything, cut up your fruits and vegetables, wash your lettuce, so get your salad ready. We got lots of recipes if you need them. We actually did a talk just on detox, so we can actually share that with you. And this is going to save you time and prevent you from being tempted with the wrong foods. So all fruits are accepted except bananas. Okay, and water, again, clean, pure water, very, very important. We also have a detox drink that you can drink as well, which is great. So what are some of those benefits of probiotics, which you do on the third day of the cleanse? But personally, myself, I take Acidophilus every single day because I know we're exposed to things all the time that knock off our good bacteria. They strengthen immunity. They guard against infection by improving our innate immunity. Our innate immunity is what we're born with. That's your natural immunity. Promotes a healthy response to foods in infants and children. And I find a lot of kids do much better with reducing allergy symptoms. And it discourages growth of disease-causing bacteria, which is very important. And it promotes colon health.
Hang on.
Come here.
Not
Okay.
sure. Hang on. I'm just going to mute everybody for a second. There we go.
There you go. So it promotes colon health, which reduces the risk of colon cancer. Because bacterial enzymes detoxify cancer-causing substances. So important. And it supports a healthy colon cells, which we need as well to keep the colon from producing those polyps and things like that. And it improves our digestion, assists the body in the production and utilization of important enzymes within the digestive tract. And one of those enzymes is lactase, which you hear a lot of people have problems with breaking down milk because of the milk sugar lactose. And when adequate lactase is present, lactose intolerance is reduced. And so what's the Neolife difference? Because there's so many probiotics out there. There's ones doctors recommend, well, the main difference is this gel guard coating, because I know when Neolife actually developed the Acidophilus, they looked at a couple different things. And one of them was they checked all the products, because a lot of products will say they have billions and billions of live bacteria in them. But when they actually checked it, that was at manufacture. When they tested the product, it didn't contain those. And then when they checked it through their mechanical stomach, it never reached down where it should. So you're better off having a good gel guard on there that will get the bacteria right down into the area, and you'll get much, much more benefit of the 5 billion microorganisms. And Nada, do you want to share?
Yes, I'm so excited to have Sarina on this evening. This is her daughter. And I'm going to have her share her story and her journey, because she's a nurse, as you can see. She's holding a little one, but she has a powerful story. So Sarina, I'd love to hear your story.
Yeah, I'd love to share her story. Has a very happy ending. And so this is her daughter, Jaden. And when she was 18 years old, she started having joint pain. It was mainly in her shoulders and in her wrists. And when she would wake up in the morning, she was very stiff and sore. And it took her a while to loosen up. She even, there were mornings where she wasn't able to even hold her hairbrush or her toothbrush to brush her teeth. She was a competitive dancer at the time, so we thought maybe just putting a lot of strain on her body, doing a lot of acrobatic tricks, we thought maybe it was possibly from that. Then she graduated from high school and she wasn't dancing any longer, and she was still having the discomfort. And so she did go to the doctor after not having much help with Advil or Tylenol. And the doctor ended up referring her to a neurologist because he felt that she might have carpal tunnel. And the neurologist did diagnose her with mild carpal tunnel, but did also see some signs of rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. And so she referred Jaden back to her family doctor to have some tests done for rheumatoid arthritis. And sure enough, she did have inflammation for showing that she had rheumatoid arthritis in her blood work. And around the same time as her joint pain, she was also having digestive issues. And there were times where she wasn't going to the bathroom for 5 or 6 days at a time. And it wasn't just happening once or twice. It was going on month after month until it was really almost a couple of years later. She was having a lot of bloating, a lot of discomfort and pain. The doctor recommended things like laxatives and stool softeners. She tried changing her diet, but really nothing was seeming to help. And then we were thankfully introduced to Neolife. She started right away on the probiotic, which was to help her digestion. And she did start having regular bowels very quickly. It started to really help her, and she started to become more regular. She's added a couple more products for her joint pain. And so getting her digestion back on track really helped improve her immune system. And she no longer has joint pain. She's able to exercise regularly. And as you can see, she now works as a nurse helping others. And she's so thankful, and I'm so thankful as her mom and her dad as well, of course, that she has her health back, because we were very, very concerned for someone so young to be having these issues. We really didn't know what was going on and where she was going. So we're very, very thankful and grateful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarina, for sharing. And the reason why we wanted you to share Jaden's story is because, you know, people sometimes don't relate the gut to autoimmune diseases. And I know Maryellen talked a lot about that probiotic, and there's such a connection between, you know, a good gut flora and helping the body just build a stronger immune system. So grateful that you decided to help her out. So it's so nice to see that. So as you can see, I mean, Neolife has so many products, and we did talk about a lot of products this evening, but we really, most people, and this is, we always focus on the core nutrition that we talked about. Okay, we talked about the Vitality Pack and the protein shake. So that breakfast pack is really a great place for people to start. But when you're dealing with someone like Jaden, who did start with some of those products, but we knew that there was something else that she needed to enhance to really get the results that she needed for her autoimmune disease. So when you're looking at some of these other key nutrients, these can be added. They work amazing along with that breakfast pack, or if you wanted to start with the Vitality Pack and a couple of other products, fantastic. So we work with you, and it really depends on your diet, okay, on your lifestyle and some of the health challenges that you're having. But one other product, Maryellen, I know that people are really understanding the importance, especially with what's going on today.
Yeah, I was, even myself now, I could not believe when the more and more research started coming out on vitamin D, how important it is for immunity. And everyone thinks it's to help with calcium absorption, which absolutely it does, but it also is it actually protects your first line of defense. So if you're exposed to a virus, if you have like a strong lungs and skin and things, it helps prevent the virus from getting in. So that's where it plays the initial role. But it also protects you from the second line of defense, which is actually if you do get exposed to it. So if the virus gets in, you will recover faster. And you hear a lot of research now talking about preventing flus and viruses and colds with vitamin D. And I do recommend people get their vitamin D levels checked to see where they are. But I know myself, I thought my vitamin D levels were fine, but they were a little bit on the lower end. And by introducing the vegan D, I'm in optimum levels now, just after a very few months. And I think the reason is because this is absorbed so well, because it's whole food based, naturally sourced, and it's just made from mushrooms and lichen. It's not made from sheep wool, which most products are made from. And sheep wool is very inexpensive to make, but does your body recognize it the same way it does food? Another big, you're hearing a lot of another powerful immune system booster is zinc, right? And Neolife does have a chelated zinc. It is a cross-border product, but you can get it shipped directly to you. And what makes it different, it's amino acid chelated. So it's absorbed 5 times more. And again, highest purity, potency, the tablets actually absorb. And that chelation process developed by Dr. Arthur First makes such a difference in how you use the product. And then of course, garlic, right? If we all wanted to eat a whole bulb of garlic a day, that would be great, but it's not always feasible, right? And there's so many benefits for healthy immune response, gastrointestinal health. Is there another slide, Nada? Oh, no, just so the difference with the Neolife one, it's enteric coated, gets down into the gut area. You don't get the garlic breath, but you get all the benefits of garlic, chives, leeks, and onions. And then of course, vitamin C, which is a powerful immunity booster, helps the body absorb iron. And the Neolife vitamin C is like 4 tree ripened oranges. You get everything but the water. So it's very powerful and absorbed. High potency, high purity, whole food, the bioflavonoids in there, and long lasting. So it's a great product, and it's so easy for kids to use as well. And of course, you want to get the toxins out for your immune system, get rid of cleaners. Breathing in those toxic Mr. Clean and all those things actually suppresses the immune system and puts toxins into your bloodstream. So these products are so economical. They last ever. The LDC is for the light duty cleaner. I wash all my fruits and vegetables. They taste so much better, and they gets rid of the surface pesticides. The Super 10 is for heavy duty cleaning. Again, you can clean your bathtub with you could spray it when you're in there. It won't even, it's so natural. And the G1, again, you're sleeping in your sheets. You think you're laying in all those chemicals. It's a laundry compound that gets rid of all those toxins. It's amazing. So Nada, do you want to share how people can get started tonight?
You know what, one thing that I really appreciate with the Neolife Club is, you can join and become a member for free. And as soon as you become a member of our wellness club, you automatically get a 15% discount. And when you go on auto ship, you get wholesale price. So for example, that Vitality Pack or that breakfast pack that we talked about, it's a month supply. So if you take it every single day and you have it coming every single month, you get wholesale price. So convenient delivery, and you also can get your shipping back. So they will reward you as a loyal customer and give you back all your money, and you can spend it on other products. So all of my customers really enjoy getting their shipping back, because I know that's something that people just don't like to do is pay for shipping. And also we have a referral program. One thing that I found that, when I started using the products and I got results, I couldn't wait to share it with people that I knew in my life. And now Neolife has a referral program, whereas if you share with 3 people and they start taking one of those health packs, yours is free every single month. So it's just a great way for you to share, and your customers, they don't have to be building a business, just sharing with a few people, and they can qualify to get their products for free. So these are the health packs. So if you're looking at just the Vitality Pack, if you're looking at the breakfast pack, it definitely is the best seller, because you're doing your 1 vitamin pack a day and your protein shake every day. It's a month supply. And if you're looking at shedding a few pounds and wanting to dive into our weight loss pack, this is what it looks like, because you're getting 4 bags of protein, because you're replacing 2 meals a day, your breakfast and your lunch, but you're eating throughout the day. So these are the different health packs. And again, if you refer 3 people to one of these health packs, yours is free every single month. But again, the breakfast pack is definitely by far the best place to start. And again, if you refer 3, yours is free. There is a Facebook group that we can invite you to. There's over 8,000 members now that are part of this group. And this is where you're going to read amazing stories and testimonials. There's several on every kind of health condition you can imagine. But again, Neolife doesn't claim to cure any condition, but when you hear their stories and their testimonials, it really makes sense, because it's just filling the gaps, nutritional gaps that have been missing in their diet, their cells start working better, and it's amazing how things just get under control. And that's why 30 years later, I have to say, like my mom, she's in her mid 70s, and I like to say she's aging gracefully as well. So by supporting your immune system and filling the nutritional gaps, you can really have a better quality of life. So amazing stories that are shared in this group. There's another option for those of you that are curious about the business. Just reach out to the person that invited you tonight, because the business has impacted my life. Both my husband and I were able to leave our jobs as police officers because we really wanted to have time freedom, but helping people and impacting people's lives was something that drew me to the company. So we are going to open up the session to questions and answers after we stop the recording. So if you have any questions at all, please stick around and feel free to ask us any questions, especially because we did cover a lot of information this evening. So I want to thank everybody for sharing their amazing stories tonight. I want to thank Maryellen for joining us as well. Appreciate you and all your knowledge. And again, thank you all for taking the time to spend with us this evening.